In this video, I'm going to go through the solutions to problems in Unit 4. The first question, which is a multiple choice, it says you have a ladder which is leaning against a 3-meter wall. So we are dealing with a right triangle. This is 3 meters. And the angle of elevation is 46. So this angle is 46. Determine the length of the ladder, which is this one, which is x. Since the triangle is a right triangle, I can use trig ratios, so I'm going to say tan sine x is equal to opposite, so sine 46 is equal to opposite, which is 3 over hypotenuse x. Then this is division by 1, so I'm going to cross multiply, so I'm going to get x sine 46 is equal to 3 times 1, which is 3. So x is going to be 3 divided by sine 46, which is going to be about 4.2 meters, which is going to be this one. The next question, number 2, says find cosecant 50 correct to 4 decimal places. If you use your calculator, you will find that the answer is B, which is 1.3054. Now the next question says find the exact value of secant 30. Now secant is 1 over cos, so we are dealing with 1 over cos 30, but cos 30 is square root of 3 over 2. This is division by square root of 3 over 2, which is 1 times 2 over square root of 3. So the answer is 2 over square root of 3, which is part A. The next question asks us to find cos 60 times sine 30. Sine 30 is 1 over 2. Cos 60 is the same, which is 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 is 1 over 4. So the answer is C. The next one says, using the appropriate special triangle, determine theta if theta is between 90 and 0, and cos theta is square root of 3 over 2. If you remember your special angle triangle, the angle 30 is going to give you cos 30 is going to be square root of 3 over 2. So the answer is A. Now we have a couple of true or false. The first one is supplementary angles have equal cosine ratio. The answer is going to be false. The reason is the following. If one of the angles is this one, which is less than 90, supplementary angle says the other angle has to be between 90 and 180. Now between 90 and 180, if you remember about unit circle, is going to be in quadrant 2, which is here, and cos of any angle in this triangle, in this quadrant, is negative. But the cos of the angle in the first quadrant, which is this angle, is going to be positive, and there is no way that they can be equal. So the answer is false. The next one says the negative angles are drawn clockwise from the positive x-axis, which is true, because again, if this is the unit circle, we always measure angles from the positive x-axis going counterclockwise. If we go clockwise, this way, the angles are going to be negative. Now question number 8 says, is sine 180 minus theta the same as sine theta? The answer is true. The reason is that if, again, this is the unit circle and this is angle theta, we know that the second angle, which is the reflection of this point on the y-axis here, this angle is going to be theta 2. So the next angle, which is going to have positive sine value, is going to be this angle, which is 180 minus theta. So the answer is true. Now the next question, it's asking, explain why the ambiguous case does not occur when given a triangle with an obtuse angle. By definition, an obtuse angle is an angle which is greater than 90, less than 180. So if this is an obtuse angle, then the sum of the other two angles, they have to be less than 90 degrees, because the sum is 180, because this is greater than 90 degrees. Since both of them, when you add, is going to be less than 90, this means that the ambiguous case, which deals with the second angle in the second quadrant, can't be happening, because the other angle has to be also obtuse angle, and it can't be. So that's the reason that you can't have an ambiguous case. The next question is a triangle with two angles and a contained side. Now you have a triangle with two angles, and this side is given. Since two angles are given, the third angle is automatically set. There is a constraint on the third angle, so there is no way we can have an ambiguous case. The next question, which is again a communication, says Roman started at point A and walked 22 meters to point B. So it goes from A to B, which is 22 meters. Then walked 17 meters to point C, so 17 meters to point C, and then walked back to point A. The path of her walk formed a triangle with angle BAC, which is this angle, to be 42 degrees. What is the total distance traveled, meaning AB plus BC plus AC? We are not supposed to solve it, we just have to explain it in words. Okay, we know that we have to find x, which is AC. What I am going to do is that I'm going to use sine law, and the way I'm going to use sine law is that I know this angle 42, the side in front of it, and I know this side 22, and I can find x. So I can use sine law to find x. Now, when I use sine law, as you know, I have to consider the ambiguous case. There is a possibility that there is another angle in second quadrant that is going to have the same sign. So considering that case too, I can find x, and then when you have x, you can find x plus 22 plus 17, which is the total distance traveled by Raman. The next question says, find two possible measures of angle theta for each of the following. Sine theta is negative square root of 3 over 2. As I said before, when you have a case like this one, forget about the negative sign, just consider square root of 3 over 2. The special angle, which gives you square root of 3 over 2 for sine, is going to be 60 degrees. So we know that our angle is 60 degrees. But since we are dealing with the negative, this means that the angle is going to be either in the third quadrant or the fourth quadrant. So the angle is going to be either this one or this one. The first case is going to be 180 plus 60, which is 240, and the last one is going to be 360 minus 60, which is going to be 300. So the two angles are 240 and 300. The next question says that cos B is 0.8376. If you use your calculator, you will find that this corresponds to angle 33.1. Since the cos is positive, again, if you look at the unit circle, you know that the cos is positive in the first quadrant, which is 33.1, and also cos is positive in the fourth quadrant, which is here. So the next angle is 360 minus 33.1, which is going to be 326.9. Now, as a check, you can use your calculator and you can find cos of 33.1 or 326.9, and you will see that the answer is 0.8376. The next question says that we know that cos theta is 3 over 5. We're supposed to find the exact values of the other two primary trig ratios, meaning sine and tan. And we know that theta is between 90 and 0. We know by definition cos theta is equal to x over r, so this means that from here x is 3, r is 5. So by using the formula that says x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, I sub these values here, I get 3 squared, which is 9, plus y squared is 5 squared, which is 25. So y squared is 25 minus 9, which is 16. So from here, y is plus or minus 4. But since we know that theta is in the first quadrant, because theta is between 0 and 90, this means that y can't be negative. So our answer is y is 4, x is 3, and r is 5. So I can say sine theta, which is y over r, which is going to be 4 over 5. And tan theta is going to be y over x, which is going to be 4 over 3. The next question says determine the exact value of each trig ratio. We are supposed to show all our work, including a clearly labeled terminal arm diagram for each. So if this is my unit circle and this angle is 150, we know that tan 150, because 150 is in the second terminal and tan is negative in the second terminal, is going to be negative, but 150, if you subtract 150 from 80, this means that the corresponding angle is going to be 30 degrees. So it's going to be negative tan 30. Now, we know that negative tan 30 is negative sine 30 over cos 30. Sine 30 is 1 over 2, so it's negative 1 over 2 divided by cos 30 is square root of 3 over 2, which is negative 1 over 2 times 2 over square root of 3. 2 goes with 2, so the answer is negative 1 over square root of 3, or negative square root of 3 over 3. The next question is cosecant of 315. Cosecant is 1 over sine 315. Again, I'm going to draw the unit circle. 315 is in quadrant 4. Sine is negative, but the corresponding angle, which is this one, is going to be 360 minus 315, which is 45. So this means 1 over sine 315 is the same as 1 over minus sine 45. Again, the reason is that in quadrant 4, sine is negative. We know that this one is 1 divided by negative, but sine 45 is square root of 2 over 2. So this is 1 times negative 2 over square root of 2, which is going to be negative 2 square root of 2 over square root of 2 times square root of 2. I'm just rationalizing the denominator. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2, goes with this 2. So the answer is negative square root of 2. In the next example, we have triangle ABC. Angle A is 68 degrees. So if I draw the triangle like this one, A, B, and C, angle A is 68 degrees. Then A is 7.9, so this is 7.9, and B is 8.4. You're supposed to solve the triangle. Solving means finding all the sides and all the angles. Let's try to find all the angles. I'm going to use the sine law, and I'm going to say 7.9 divided by sine 68 is equal to 8.4 divided by sine b. If we crisscross this one, we get 7.9 sine b is 8.4 times sine 68. Divide by 7.9. Then if you use the inverse sign, you will see that b is approximately 80.36 degrees. From here, remember that whenever you use sine law, we have to also look at the ambiguous case. The other angle which is going to have the same sign is going to be in the second quadrant. So from here I can see that if this is B1, the first possibility, the second possibility B2 is 180 minus 80.36, which is going to be 99.64. So I have to consider two cases, B1 and B2. Let's consider B1 first. So B1 is 80.36, A is 68. So from here, I can easily see that angle C is 180 minus 80.36 minus 68, which is 31.64. So now I have all the angles. The only one which is left is side C, which is AB. To find that one, I'm going to write the sine ratio again. I'm going to say sine AB over sine 31.64 is equal to 7.9 divided by sine 68. If you crisscross here, you will find that AB is about 4.5. So this is the first solution. Again, the three angles are given here, and also the side AB is given. Now let's go with the second option, which is B2. Let's say B2 is 99.64, A is again 68. From here I can get that C is 180 minus 68 minus 99.64, which is going to be equal to 12.36. So again, I use the same sine law. I'm going to say AB divided by sine 12.36 is equal to 7.9 divided by sine 68. So from here, after you crisscross, you will get that AB is approximately 18.2. Now, we know B2, we know A, and we know also angle C and side AB, so we solve the triangle. Again, for given information here, there are two possible answers. One is this one, and the other one is this. In the next example, we have Simran, which leaves home. Let's call home A, and rides her bike 12 kilometers north. Let's call this one B. She turns east, goes to the right, and rides another 5 kilometers. So this is 5, this is 12, and it goes to point C. Then she turns onto a forest bicycle path that runs 45 south of east. So this means that since this is east, this is south of east. So this is 45 degrees. For another 5 kilometers, so this is 5. How far is Simran from home? If we call this point D, we have to find X, which is AD. This is the question here. To do that one, I'm going to divide the ABCD into two triangles. Triangle ABC is a right triangle because at B she turns toward east, which is perpendicular to north. This is a right triangle, so I can find AC using Pythagorean theorem. So I can say that AC is square root of 12 squared plus 5 squared. This one is going to be equal to 13. So I know that AC is 13 kilometers. Now in triangle ABC, I'm going to find angle C or ACB. ACB. So I'm going to try to find this angle. To find this angle, I'm going to use the tan ratio because the triangle is a right triangle. So I'm going to say tan of angle ACB is equal to opposite over adjacent. So it's 12 over 5. From here, I can find that ACB, the angle, is approximately 67.4 degrees. Now, I know this angle is 45. I know this angle is 67.4, so I can find this angle. So I can say angle ACD is equal to 180 minus 45 minus 67.4, which is going to be 67.6. Now I have angle ACD. I have the side AC and I have the side CD, so I can use cosine law to find x. So I can say x is square root of 13 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 13 times 5 times the cos of angle between, which is 67.6. If you simplify this one, you get approximately 12 kilometers. So this means Simran at the end is 12 kilometers from her home. The next or the last question says a surveyor wants to measure the height of a mountain and has determined the following measurements as shown in the diagram. Find the height h of the mountain. Let's put label beside all these vertices. So this A, B, C, and D. From here, I can say that angle BDA, which is this angle, is going to be 180 minus 72.418 minus 63.283, which is going to give us 44.299 degrees. So angle D is found. Now, what we are going to do is that we are going to use sine law to find this side. This is the one that we want. So I'm going to use sine 4.35 divided by sine 44.299 is equal to, I'm going to use another side, which is going to be BD, the one that we are looking for. So I'm going to say BD divided by sine of the angle in front of it, which is sine 63.283. Now, if you cross multiply, you will find that BD is approximately 5.56 kilometers. Now, if you look at the triangle BDC, you can see that this is a right triangle, so I can use the trig ratios. I'm going to use the tan ratio, so I'm going to say tan 15.217 is the opposite, which is h, over adjacent, which is 5.56. If I cross multiply, I get h is approximately 1.51 kilometers.